Japan has changed. Tourists once sought the peaceful embrace of Mount Fuji, but now its tranquility is overshadowed by over-tourism. Kyoto, with its timeless beauty, draws ever-growing crowds, and this is pushing all of you potential tourists to contemplate how to escape the masses. There are always important new things to know so that your trip can be unforgettable, from new tourist taxes at some popular locations, how climbing Mount Fuji will change, and Kyoto's answer to the tourist masses. We will also explore how the JR pass might be irrelevant for you. I'll also be giving you my personal recommended travel solutions so that you can explore this beautiful country like never before, and so that you can be better prepared and plan more wisely. So let's get started. Imagine the serene beauty of Japan's iconic Mount Fuji, now overshadowed by chaotic footsteps of millions. Mount Fuji, a symbol of Japan's rich heritage and culture, is gasping for its essence, its silence shattered by over-tourism. The majestic summit seems to be screaming for space, battling human traffic jams, pollution and safety concerns. From 2012 to 2019, visitor numbers have risen sharply, and many tourists are sometimes unprepared for the climb, risking not only their safety but that of others. Some tourists are dressed incorrectly in light clothing or inappropriate footwear, struggling to ascend, only having to turn back. With this comes the danger of people colliding or misstepping, causing falls or cascading rocks. This isn't just a threat to human safety, but to the very soul of Mount Fuji. But the question remains: how much is too much? After the COVID-19 pandemic and the border finally reopening, around 83,000 climbers returned to conquer Japan's highest peak last year, and the enthusiasm and popularity of this epic iconic location is evident. But with this comes challenges that might affect you. Many mountain huts continue to be cautious and operate with limited capacity, making it difficult for climbers to book rest stops, and making bullet climbing, where brave climbers attempt getting to the 3,776 meter summit before dawn and without breaks, more popular. This style of climbing, although admirable, raises many concerns. During the last season, Yamanashi's governor implemented safety measures to ease congestion and improve safety, with climbers of Mount Fuji being asked to stop and wait whenever the trail became too crowded. Specifically, the Yoshida Trail, which is located on the Yamanashi Prefecture side of the mountain. Safety guides and officers patrol the area and then provided information to the government if there are dangers of accidents or falling rocks from too many hikers. The government would then send a request for limiting the number of hikers to the police, who ultimately made a decision regarding whether or not to restrict trail use. This regulation went into effect last year between August 11th and September the 10th, and is likely to continue in future climbing seasons, with 2024 expected to be even more popular and crowded, as the last season did not include Chinese tourists who are set to return. Just remember that Mount Fuji isn't just a peak to conquer, it's a journey, so let's ensure that this journey is safe, respecting both the mountain's majesty and each climber's spirit. The iconic Itsukushima Shrine in Miyajima Island, just off Hiroshima, with its iconic bright orange torii gate that seems to float on water, has touched the hearts of many around the world, including mine. It's one of my favorite locations and really is a mesmerizing sight. The site stands as a testament to Japan's rich history and is part of a 1,400-year-old Shinto complex and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. However, this is another site where local authorities are trying to tackle over-tourism by introducing a tourist tax. It was initially planned for 2021 but postponed due to the global pandemic. This tax, which is already in effect, will mean that everybody stepping onto Miyajima, the gateway island to this spiritual haven, will be charged a modest fee of 100 yen. And for those wishing to immerse themselves in the beauty multiple times a year, a yearly pass is available for 500 yen. It's a mission to create an inviting atmosphere for our visitors, whilst preserving the essence of this island for its residents, expressed the city's planning department. The vision is called Another 1,000 Years Initiative and means that every visitor to the island becomes its protector. The heartfelt plea from the initiative reads, "Let's act now with pride, ensuring this divine island is treasured for another millennium. Before the world stopped and Japan's borders closed due to the pandemic, Kyoto was already overrun by tourists. Many gift shops selling souvenirs and shrines aimed at tourists had taken over the popular shopping arcades, replacing many traditional Japanese stores, and Bontocho Alley, one of Kyoto's most famous and popular streets, was so clogged with visitors during high season that you really couldn't move or breathe. In 2019, the city welcomed 53.52 million visitors, with the rhythm of local life sometimes disrupted by excessive crowds, trash, and congested buses. Kyoto joins a list of other popular destinations trying to balance the needs of tourists with those of residents. These include Bali, which just added some restrictions on tourists, and Amsterdam, which is limiting tourists by limiting river cruises and placing restrictions on restaurant opening times. Kyoto's strategy for peak tourism includes measures to address congestion at sightseeing spots and transportation services, including increasing the number of extra city bus services that connect railway stations and sightseeing spots, ending the sale of the one-day bus pass, which allowed unlimited daily rides, and instead promoting the use of subway. Kyoto is also establishing a temporary luggage holding area at the JR Kyoto station to promote sightseeing without any luggage. Kyoto is also trying to change tourism in a uniquely Japanese way by introducing a code of conduct, which is more like a logical suggestion which electronic billboards in multiple languages will illuminate to tourists. By encouraging tourists to contribute to the local culture and community while promoting harmony between residential life and tourism, preserve the natural environment and scenic landscape, foster mutual understanding and a cultural exchange, establish tourism that is resilient against crises such as disasters and infectious diseases. Practically speaking, tourists should carry their litter back to the hotel, as public trash cans are not very common, and tourists should not leave leftover food in public and not take photos in places that are not allowed. Kind of logical. Hotels in Kyoto are handing out brochures with the code to guests, and tourism officials are making this a priority. They really want everyone to know that this is how to behave in Kyoto. In theory, however, this is a great example of proactive education. Most customers will usually play by the rules when they are clearly communicated. What are your thoughts? Would this even make a difference? What do you think? Okay, the JR Pass has been a popular option for travelers to Japan, offering unlimited rides on various JR trains across the country. However, the next time that you travel, you might need to rethink if it's worth it for you, with the price of the JR Pass rising by up to 70%, making it potentially less appealing choice for those who are traveling to Japan. This makes it less cost effective and less planning long distance journeys over short durations, and given the price surge, travelers might find it more economical to explore regional passes or other transport methods. A 7-day JR ordinary pass is priced at 50,000 yen. One would need to at least make 4 more or less long distance trips to justify its costs. So you should thoroughly research and compare the costs of the JR Pass against other regional passes or transport options. Additionally, consider blending modes of transport, like flying to distant regions and then using a pass for localized travel. This shift in the JR Pass pricing will likely change how you travel in Japan. The reality is that while the JR Pass might still be an asset for some very specific travelers, it's essential to evaluate if it aligns with one's travel goals, and it will be more than likely not be something that you will be needing in your future trip to Japan. Overtourism and crowds is changing the way Japan's tourist organizations are marketing future travel, and also making potential travelers like yourself think twice about where they should visit within the country. Japan has a lot more to offer than just Tokyo, Osaka and Kyoto. There are often unheard stories of trails less trodden and of nature's whispers in the heart of Japan. And even though there is a surge in travelers to less visited areas, these continue to retain untouched beauty and authenticity. Japan is a land where quaint villages stare at the unsettling possibility of fading into oblivion. But this could be one of Japan's strong points, and if harnessed correctly, can be a savior many times due to the great public transport infrastructure. A rail network that can get you across the country with ease, and if not, close enough to the bus or a ropeway. In this channel, I not only aim to demonstrate the popular, but also encourage you to visit some locations that are really worth the visit, either as a day trip or a night or two away, off the beaten path, and more crucially away from the many tourist crowds. I recently put together guides on Kanazawa, Ashikaga, Aido Wakamatsu, and even explored lesser visited areas within busy cities like Tokyo and Kyoto. And moving forward, I will be exploring even more locations that will unlock crowd-free Japan even further for you tourists. These are places that I have visited myself and I think are worth visiting. So turn on the bell notification and subscribe, and check out some of those places you must consider on your next trip to Japan. Check out my Less Crowded Japan playlist and consider supporting the channel by using the affiliate Pocket Wi-Fi or data SIM link, a product trusted by many in the Ninja Monkey community and one that will certainly help you get the most out of your travels whilst in Japan. For more casual content, why not check out my second channel, The Happy Gaijin. Thanks for watching, stay positive and be a happy gaijin, and happy travels. Till next time, bye.